Hello, guys. How are you? Welcome to another community call of Kleros, June 3rd of 2026. We have a very special thing today. How are you, Jean?
Doing great. We have two special things.
Two special things. I would say three special things, maybe even. We have first so as you guys know, we have fellowship program that has been running for I think 9 years now. Long time. And in this program, we had lots of people coming, doing all kinds of research about Kleros. Some of them from the point of view of law, others from the point of view of mechanism design, from point of view of business. So we built this community that is from people from everywhere. And what we want to do, and we started thinking a bit like last few weeks, that we could invite some of the fellows that came through our program so they can explain to us like what is the research they did, what they are doing now. It's a really strong community that we want to show, display, and put it in front of everyone, because it's we're really proud of this. This was, I think, one of the main achievements we had at Kleros. This was this fellowship program. And so we have today a special guest who was a participant in one of the editions of the fellowship. But let me first make a short introduction about Kleros and that type of work we did in academia. It's just very short. To tell you a bit, so since the beginning, Kleros started in 2017, and since that moment, we had the idea that we are proposing like a big paradigm change in world of law, and because of the use of incentives and the use of blockchain. So this is and so to create traction for this movement, we needed first research in how to improve the mechanism. When we started, we had an idea of how the mechanism should work, but also then after that, lots of things happened, we started researching and try to improve it and to have it address a wider amount of use cases. And so over time, I would say so this is that very first moment we thought that partnering with universities was a great way to improve our work, and then also have a community of students who, at some point, you're a student today, and in 10 years you are in a decision-making position in companies, government, and the like. So one of the first milestones we had regarding academia is that we published actually a book in 2019 just to explain a bit of the ideas we had about Kleros. It was called Dispute Revolution. Every big movement needs a book, right? You can imagine that many examples. So this was the first time to put into a place all of the knowledge or the ideas we had to develop the project. And then in 2020, we held the first conference in an academic setting. This was done at the University of Leicester in the United Kingdom. And the curious thing is that conference was held exactly the day of Brexit. For some cosmic reason, the conference was happened. When was the date exactly? I don't remember, but it should be there in the if you can see, Friday 31st of January, I think. So this was exactly on the COVID day. And this was the first time that we had an academic conference, and this was organized by actually one of the fellows we had at the beginning, the first cohort, called Rosanna De Plano. She's a professor at Leicester, and she actually proposed to hold that conference, and we had a bunch of people coming. One of the people who came to that conference was Colin Rule. Actually, Colin Rule took a plane from the US to the UK to come to our conference. Colin Rule is one of the big guys of the dispute resolution ecosystem, and so we were really honored that we had him there. And one of the people who came to that conference is Paul Goldberg. Just remember this name because you will see how this is important in a later moment. So 2020 we have this conference, and then we did that same year we did another one at the Sorbonne. It was this was part of our partnership with the Paris Center of Law and Economics. This is led by Bruno Defems, which is a professor at Paris 2. This is in a very nice Sorbonne auditory. We did this in 2020. And then what happened? Of course, COVID happened, and we also did that conference, online. And then we also took our time to try to publish. This is the original article, not the white paper. This is the original article about Kleros as the theoretical background of Kleros as a decentralized justice system. This is the original article. It was published in the Stanford Journal of Blockchain Law and Policy. I also published this with Bruno. Bruno was a great inspiration, and I would say also a mentor in the early days of the project. And so he was my co-author here. And then what happened is that when you start interacting and working in these ecosystems, you start having people who start doing research, even PhD research about these topics. And the first PhD I'm aware of about Kleros in an academic setting was done by Bianca Kremer. Bianca, she's a lawyer she's from Austria, but she did her PhD in St. Gallen in Switzerland, and she basically did her PhD about Kleros, right? So this is her thing, and and this is you can download it and you can see it because it's a really good thesis. And then remember I mentioned about Paul Goldberg before. So Paul Goldberg at some point came to us and said, okay, we could do some work together, and this eventually resulted in this collaboration of having a doctoral student at Oxford doing mechanism design research, funded partially by Kleros and partially by University of Oxford. This is in the Department of Computer Science, and and he's the supervisor, of course. And then this led to another student in the law school, or as I call it there more precisely, the Faculty of Law, called Ekin. And so we have two students doing research about Kleros, doctoral research in Oxford, which is an amazing thing to do. And also last year we did a very cool conference at King's College, also in London, about mechanism design. And so this is all of the and these are just the highlights, because we had lots of other collaborations, some of them online, others in person. Strengthening our ties to all of this academic ecosystem. And what's coming now is we are going to do next week a little tour on the UK with William. We are going to go to 3 places. First, on Monday we have talk at the AI Institute in King's College, the same place where we did the conference last year. So this is going to be a closed conference for their students. Then on June 9, we have this conference co-hosted by Oxford and Kleros at the Oxford Cable College. And this is going to be a full afternoon with 2 main sessions. First session is going to be about law and society, about Kleros as a private legal system. Some of the people who are in this panel with me are some of the world leading scholars about private law and private legal systems. This is what Kleros is intending to do in this ecosystem. And so this is the first panel going from 2 to 3:30 p.m. And then the second one is going to be about mechanism design, and I'm going to be moderator but it's going to be mostly about William and Rob, about how we are thinking about social choice theory, how Kleros interacts with agents, agentic dispute resolution, and those things. So this is the second panel. And finally, and that one is open. If you want to go, I mean, you can sign up. I mean, Jean can share the link for you to see. And then we have and on the 11th of June, we have at the Edinburgh Law School at the University of Edinburgh. Edinburgh, because people will make fun of me because it's not Edinburgh, it's Edinburgh. Another one that is going to be extremely interesting, and for like half a bit of a legal and also a mechanism design audience. And I was super happy, when they put here in the promotional materials. I want to read this because it's amazing. I was super happy. In a modern note to the Scottish Enlightenment, Kleros applies an invisible hand approach to justice through the use of the Schelling point in a coordination game. The self-interest of individual jurors is harnessed to produce a collective pursuit of truth without the need for central authority. This is like the fact that they are speaking about the Scottish Enlightenment, which I am the biggest fan in the Southern Hemisphere for sure. So that made me super happy. And, people know that David Hume, Adam Smith went to the University of Edinburgh, so like Edinburgh. So yeah, I'm super happy about this. So yeah. Okay, and then last but not least, we have here another one of the people who actually did her PhD about Kleros is Alesia Zhuk, who did her PhD at Pompeu Fabra, and we have her with us here so she can tell us a bit about her research. And of course, in parallel to her PhD, she also did the fellowship. And let's have her here come. So Dr. Alesia Zhuk. By the way, I also was in the examination panel. So yeah, I mean, I was examining Alesia's work, which was excellent. So yeah, Alesia, how are you? Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Dr. Federico Ast, for such a nice introduction. Yes, so if we start from the very beginning, just to explain you how I came up to Kleros. So basically, I was doing my PhD investigation on new technology and how they can be applied in terms of justice delivery. And I was focusing on blockchain, and then I discussed it with my supervisor.
One second. Tell us a bit about you. I mean, where you're from? Like, what you studied, the undergraduate. So, whatever you feel that you can disclose. I mean, we're not going to,
All right. All right. So originally I'm from Belarus, but I was doing my PhD in Spain because before that I spent some time in Latin America. So I was looking for a place somewhere in between Latin America and my home country. And then I ended up in Pompeu Fabra.
Okay.
With José Luis Martí Mapal. You probably know him. I believe so, because he recommended me your project.
Well, José Luis Martí, he was one of the speakers at the conference we did at Leicester, and he came to that conference. I mean, I know José Luis Martí because he's a philosopher of law and political philosophy, and he was in touch, and he was part of the same group of researchers where some of my friends researched in Latin America. I'm Argentinian, so in the Universidad de Buenos Aires, and José Luis, I think they met because they went to the same conferences. I mean, he was like doing a Rawls philosophy and Habermas, deliberative democracy stuff. And you know how this started? Because you don't know. I think it was 2018, and I actually meet José Luis at a conference in Stockholm. And he tells me, I knew him, but not much. I tell him about Kleros. He knew about Kleros, but those were like super early days. And he was working with this woman, Beth Novek, who is like a very important, Simon Novek, she's a very important like digital democracy scholar who has done like lots of research. She has a very famous book. I think it's called Wiki Government. And he's like a part of that research group. The type of topics I'm interested on. So like this was a really, so this is how we met. And I think that is how I guess I pitched Kleros to him at that point, and he pitched Kleros to you. That was
probably yes, because when he pitched it to me, it was in 2019 when I had to decide on specific case to focus within my PhD. So he said me directly, focus on Kleros. And yes, this is where it begins. So I also analyzed other online dispute resolution platforms, but I believe up to date, Kleros is the only one that continues to be operational in comparison with others.
Yeah.
So yes, I was lucky to find you and to focus my PhD on that. So yes, after that, of course, I knew about the fellowship and I wanted to continue the investigation, especially taking into account the emergence of AI and moving a little bit from blockchain to more advanced technologies, let's say, to artificial intelligence, right? So I thought it's really nice to combine something that I learned during PhD with AI and to see how AI can be applied within Kleros.
Tell us a bit how can AI be applied in Claire? What were your findings? Yeah, tell us a bit more about
Yeah, sure. So basically, in my investigation, I was thinking we have national courts, we have international courts, but we have also online dispute resolution platforms, and all of them face similar challenges. Like basically, we have informational overload, we have a lot of documents to check, to revise. We have legal terms that are complex and cannot be understood easily. If we speak about Claros, for example, about a juror who is not a legal expert, maybe it could be a little bit challenging, but also different cultures, different languages that this documentation implies. So how can we tackle all these issues and make justice more accessible, the process more efficient for both for jurors, for judges, for parties? So what I try to do is to first analyze what type of AI can we actually apply, what is feasible, because if we speak about AI, it's speaking generally, but we have like expert system, maybe machine learning, within machine learning, natural language processing. So I wanted to know which one is better to focus on, just to narrow down the investigation. And I decided to focus on natural language processing because unlike machine learning, which both are connected, but still NLP is like more narrowed in a sense and can be more easily implemented than machine learning that might require maybe more generalized, might require much more resources to develop. Or for example, expert system that is basically the data sets and maybe not that efficient to tackling all these 3 problems or more problems that I mentioned. So after narrowing to NLP, I was analyzing what exactly NLP can do within Kleros and I think in online dispute resolution in general. Federico, please correct me at any point because I'm not technical. I'm a legal
No, I mean that's
expert. So
perfect. I mean, I already studied your PhD when I was in the examining panel, so I mean everything you're saying is fine. So don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yes. So after discussing with you with Dean, I thought that there are some sensitive data in cases you received, and maybe it should be anonymized, not in a manual matter, but using natural language processing. So basically, if you have persons behind Kleros, who's basically selecting names or personal sensitive data, company's address, whatever, maybe it could be done by natural language processing. So thus we preserve some sort of privacy by using technology. This was one way of implementing NLP. Then, of course, for translation, so natural language works with processing works with different languages. It's much more efficient than using human interpreters or human translators. It's faster, but there are some maybe problems in terms of concept, dual meanings of different words that can have certain meanings depending on the context, or maybe some terms that exist in one language and doesn't exist in another language. Just to give you an example, it's has nothing to do, I believe, with Kleros, but for example, in Maori language in New Zealand, they do not have the term of a sovereignty. And in
Of
one
what?
of the treaty
Which one?
of sovereignty.
Okay. Sovereignty. Okay.
So basically, the treaty that was signed with the British Empire centuries ago, the sovereignty in English translation was translated as governance in Maori language.
Okay.
And this has created some sort of discrepancy until the day. So yes, so NLP can be used for translation, but we should take care with languages, but because not everything is translatable. What else? Natural language processing can be also used for information retrieval or information extractions. I'm not quite sure if, like, I should explain what is the difference between retrieval and extraction, but just in case, retrieval, it's basically retrieving relevant documents from all the submissions. For example, if parties submit a lot of documents and a juror or a judge needs to access a specific one, so NLP can easily help to identify instead of revising all the documents. And information retrieval, it's about retrieving facts. Where the event occurred, what time, or what actually happened. I was also thinking that maybe since Kleros and online dispute resolution blockchain is quite a modern and not everyone can easily comprehend that NLP can also help like to creating a chat to answering questions of those who is interested in Kleros but cannot easily understand how that works. So it's to create some sort of interactions, make it more accessible for general public, for those who would like to access the Kleros. And so what else? Maybe the last 2 points I should mention is about more technical aspects about topic modeling. So basically, if we receive a lot of documents, we can classify them based on the specific topic. And instead of doing it manually, well, basically AI can do it for us. And maybe also, which could be quite controversial, but opinion mining. Literally meaning, so sometimes it's hard to see when we deal with online disputes what is actual intention of parties based on the documents without direct negotiation or direct access to humans. So NLP can be also used to understand what is the actual connotation, what is the hidden intent, or what is hidden between lines. But well, maybe in the European Union, that would be classified as a high-risk system, but I'm not quite sure. But yes, so basically, that was the primary focus of my research. So where can AI be applied in Kleros?
We are doing lots of research about that, and well, part of the tour that we are doing now is related to collaborations and research we have with universities in the context also of seeing how AI can be applied. One more question, and then we will let you go. What are you up to these days? I mean, you're working at law, teaching. Yeah, tell us a bit about what you're up to now.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a little bit related to policy on artificial intelligence and international court. So I moved from online dispute resolution to international courts, and I'm also teaching now at ESADE in Barcelona. ESADE
Oh, really?
School. Yeah,
I know it.
Really,
I took a course at ESADE. I took a course there. Yeah,
you can take one more with me.
I would definitely. I mean, can I do it online? Because I cannot go to Barcelona. Maybe it's a short one. Maybe we can. But yeah, well, that sounds great.
Yes, so that's about me.
Alesia, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to see things are going well for you. And yeah, let's go to the next block of our community call. We have, I think, Foresight. Jim, what do we have now? We have a Foresight and the movie experiment. Hello, Clement. How are you?
Yes,
hopefully it's not too late for you.
Good than you, yeah.
It's very late for Clement. We're very sorry, Clement.
Let's get started soon. So yeah, go ahead. So we don't have you much more time, so you can go to sleep. Yeah. Go ahead.
What do you mean? Go ahead.
I mean, you want to tell us about the Foresight and the movie experiment?
Like I was coming, I was going to be invited, and someone had prepared something. So maybe let's. Okay, maybe let's keep it for the next week then. If
for next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, that was a teaser of the movie experiment. Okay, so this is like live TV, Okay, let's go to Jean. What do we have? We can mention a bit.
We have
William is there.
William is here. Let me check if he can join. Yes, he's here. 1 second.
Hello, William.
Hey, everybody.
Let me, Howard. Let me just share again the presentation, Jean, so we can put the event we will have. Yeah. I think so. William, we were presenting a bit about what we will have. 1 second. In next week. So I was mentioning for people who are joining right now, we have so the King's College. I mean, do you want to go through this, because this is going to be more for you to speak about in the King's College? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so our tour of talks next week is the big thing in our research now. At least I'm busy with. So on Monday we have a talk in King's College. What's the name of the faculty we're speaking in again? It's some faculty related to AI. So basically, computer scientists.
Yeah, it's
right.
Bart. I don't remember that, but he's director of the AI department at the King's Institute for AI, and then we are going to present to their audience, the students, about mechanism design and how we are developing models of social choice theory and that. So this is a generic thing I put, William, so there's not the name there. But I put the logo of the institute. Yeah. Right.
So it's the distributed AI group that's organizing. I just checked, and I think in collaboration with the Finance Hub. So basically, it's going to be an academic audience, a lot of computer scientists, and I promise to talk about our AI research, and then also the social choice theories we do, and the voting and incentive systems for things like Kleros. So a more technical talk. So that'll be Monday.
That is Monday. Okay, let me.
Or we can go on to the next of the.
No, the next one. Yeah, next one is Oxford on June 9. So I already showed this, but I'm going to present on the panel of law and society. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a panel of Kleros as a legal institution, as a private legal institution, where, we are going to discuss the sociology of law and what Kleros means for, the online dispute resolution. I will be this panel with some of the biggest experts in rule of law. I mean, particularly Fernanda Piria is the author of a very important book called The Rule of Laws. And then, it's amazing that we're going to be able to discuss it with them. And I mean, this is how to build a legal order for the internet. I mean, for the metaverse, this is going to be the topic. I mean, the metaverse as a sociology, as a community that needs a legal order, and where there is none at the moment, because what we have now are more rules that are made by platforms. Each platform, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they have the rules of engagement, but this is not a legal order, because these are this is a monarchy, if you want. They have a rules, but this is not made by the community. The enforcement is purely done by private actors without any due process considered. So Kleros brings a new thing to this. It brings the idea of rule of law into the online world. Some of them call them, lex cryptographia. So, okay, I'm not going to say my whole presentation now, but this is going to be the idea of the first panel that will take place at 2 p.m. And then, I will let you present the second one, William, at 4 p.m. We have the mechanism design one. So please go ahead.
Yeah. So my part of the panel, I'm going to give a kind of overview of the different kinds of mechanism design questions we've faced in Kleros over the years. More general audience kind of talk, because we'll have it's open to the public, and also we have kind of a mixed audience of computer scientists and lawyers that will be in this room. So I'll still talk a bit about social choice theory and how AI can intersect with Kleros, but then I'll also have brief overviews of how identity credentials can help in juror selection. How does that change the constraints of what juror selection can look like in an attack-resistant way? I'm going to talk a bit about some of the kind of in the category of incentive design, peer prediction type things. I think I talked about this at an ECC maybe last year. How can you kind of pick out expert opinions, even if they're a minority of your community, and elevate them and help make good decisions without opening the door for attackers to pretend to be experts and when actually they're trying to make that platform. So brief overviews of lots of different types of research questions we have. I think, Fede, you're going to be also on the panel with me again, as well as
I'm going to be just the moderator and just to introduce it, but you're going to be the star, and also Rob is going to speak a bit about the experiments we are doing about AI and Kleros in particular. I had a really interesting conversation today with some people that I really cannot really disclose, but about how the different how we are going to implement AI in the future solution, and how this is not going to be like just one AI doing the decisions, but it's going to be a panel of AIs because of the different ways of training the models. You just can have different decisions based on what model you use. So this, if you want to, I mean, if I have a dispute with someone, I will want the model I think is going to be biased in my favor to be the judge, and the other person is going to be the model that she wants, she thinks is going to be biased in her favor. So at the end, you need like a panel of diverse models, so you can have like more, diverse and fair, decision makers. So I don't know. Do you want to maybe give a bit of a teaser of the type of research you did from comparing Claude to ChatGPT? You can say something. I mean, maybe we can even share that as a little video to promote the conference. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, so I mean, we've given different types of cases over time to different AI LLM models to see like how they would rule on past historical cases. I've talked before about how like we gave like past curate cases to LLM models, and now we have like a good corpus of lemon cases. We have like about 100 lemon cases. So we gave the lemon cases, which are maybe more accessible to a legal audience, to Claude and ChatGPT. And it was interesting in that they had very similar levels of alignment with the jury. But their errors were very errors in the sense where the points where they diverged from the human jurors, the Kleros jurors, were very different. I think ChatGPT was much more severe. It was much more likely to favor the company versus the users. And like all of the times when it diverged from the Kleros jury, or almost, or points where the Kleros jury voted for the user and ChatGPT voted for the company. Whereas Claude made basically the same number of divergences with the human jury, but they were more split between voting for the company when the jurors voted for the user, or vice versa.
If you guys want to learn more about this, one second, William. If you guys want to learn more about this, come June 9 at 2 p.m. Oxford. I mean, we are going to discuss these topics about the use of AI in dispute resolution, and you can learn a lot more of how we are researching and thinking about these topics, and how we expect this combination of building hybrid systems of AI, humans, and the Kleros background as an infrastructure for fairness. So Oxford, June 9, 2 p.m. Yeah, you can sign up now. Yeah, William, please continue.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's a good teaser for our work. I mean, I generally agree with the point you made a minute or two ago about how important it is to have panels of AIs. And I think it's particularly Kleros is particularly useful in that context. And that it's not just some person picking what my panel of AIs is going to be. It's like a market mechanism where the AIs are competing with each other to get onto the panel. And they have to iterate because maybe some of them are losing money because they're not doing a good enough job aligning with the community. And it's just intrinsically a more neutral platform for the AIs to sort of compete and for dispute resolution work.
Perfect. That is going to be at Oxford on the 9th, and then we have the final thing of the week. It's going to be at the University of Edinburgh. I mentioned already, William, that we are going to be at the same place where Adam Smith and David Hume were teaching. I think, I'm not sure if Hume actually taught here. I mean, Hume was more like a taught person, and I don't know if he had a teaching position. He was more like a writer, independent. I would call it independent researcher, these days. But Adam Smith was teaching there, and then some of the ideas of the Scottish Enlightenment are within Kleros because of the invisible hand kind of this idea of jurors looking for their individual, interest, end up coordinating in such a way that produces, fair decisions for the community. This is my idea of the invisible hand Adam Smith had for markets. So we kind of bring this into the world of law. And this is organized by Morshed Manan. Morshed is member of Blockchain Gov, which is a research group with Primavera de Filippi and she has this group around her of people who are researching DAO governance and the interactions between traditional legal systems and online legal systems. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really cool thing. Anything to mention about Edinburgh? Your talk is going to be like a bit of like a short version of the Oxford one, right?
Yeah, it's going to be similar. So similar audience, similar kind of overview of research topics.
Awesome. Anything else you want to mention today, William?
Not particularly. So, I hope to see people at these conferences next week. You should all come out and listen to us then.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you like in a few days. So thank you, William. Okay, do we have anything else, Jean, for today? I'm not sure.
Hey, sorry, my connection dropped.
No, you're good. You're there.
Okay, good.
You can remove William so he can go. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, William.
Thanks, William.
Yeah. I don't know anything else. I don't know. I don't have anything else for today. I'm just preparing for. Lots of things now because preparing for the trip. Presentations. I have to do like new slide decks and also meetings. So yeah, quite busy these days. So
yeah, I think. Well, maybe Alex can join. I don't know, but next week, part of the team will be in the UK talking for these conferences, but also part of the team will go to the US to attend Manifest, which is a conference organized by Manifold about prediction markets. And this has been a very important topic in the world of crypto and markets, I would say, not only crypto anymore.
Oh no, Alex, do you want to come, Alex, to tell us a bit about that if you're free? Because I think he's in the room, but I don't know if it's available. If you're not, that's fine. We have like a part of the team in the Americas, part of the team, in Europe. So we're going to have a. I don't know. It's otherwise it's fine. It's no need if you're not there.
And the important thing is that we have a couple of experiments going on, like with Kleros Foresight, with FutureKey.fi, that we actually are using FutureKey.fi on the Kleros DAO. You can see if a proposal is if the market expects a proposal to have a positive price impact or negative price impact. So this is part of the team will be attending this conference, and then Alex and Clement will be going to the ETHConf in New York, and I think this is the first or second ETHConf in New York. It looks like it will be one of the biggest conferences of the year. So that will be pretty cool. Maybe there are some people from the US that never met people from Kleros. They will be able to do it. And then a week later, there's DappCon in Berlin, and we usually attend this conference. It's usually very high quality with our friends at Gnosis. We have lots of collaborations with them. So always we always get positive results from DappCon. So this will be pretty cool too. And maybe we'll be releasing an app, like a mini app inside one of their apps. So I don't know exactly what the timing will be, but maybe it will be ready for the conference. And we have Lucia just joined. I think we can.
Yeah, we can have Lucia 3 minutes. We already had lots of time last week for the enterprise cases. So but if she's there, Hello, Lucia. How are you?
Hello. How are you doing? Yes, I will be quick. So just regarding enterprise updates, of course, we cannot tell everything, but we've been advancing a lot with government integrations. Of course, we keep receiving cases from Junin, and also thanks to the webinar we did some weeks ago, we've been receiving some interesting calls with municipalities from Argentina. So hopefully, if everything goes right this year, maybe we can have some other integrations with other municipalities. And of course, what we want to do is that replicate, when one municipality sees that it's working in another one, replicate it in many, many different ones. So yes, that's basically one of our main goals for this year. And I think that's the most important update regarding enterprise. I don't know, Fede, if you want to say something in particular regarding this.
No, I think that the bad thing about enterprise is that we really cannot say anything before, there's an agreement, because this involves, traditional entities and they like NDAs and all that thing. So, yeah, I mean, we cannot say anything until there is a confirmation and they allow us to say. But no, it's going really in good direction, because the fact that we have like a template of something that is working now is something that we can like replicate. Before, we were learning how to build this system and how to integrate it with traditional legal systems. But now that we have like cases in Mendoza, Junin, we have the Lemon integration. I mean, there is lots of possibilities to scale this like way faster. So yeah, but let's not say anything else for now.
Of course. Okay, I think that's it for me. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Fede.
Thank you, Lucia. One thing we must say about Kleros Enterprise is that, now Lucia will be the face of Kleros Enterprise. Marcos, unfortunately, is not with the team anymore, but he's rooting for us. Will be rooting for us and maybe even helping a bit. So
yes.
Yeah.
And we also have a Facu that it's
Facu as well. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, Jean.
Of course, I need to mention that Marcos will continue to play for Kleros FC. So yeah, that's
yeah. I mean, once you start working, playing for the Kleros Republic, you have to. You cannot play in another DAO team, basically. So this is how it works. And now we will have, Alex. Thank you, Lucia. Alex, who is our Director of Business Development. So he's going to tell us a bit about Foresight. Hello, Alex.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm good. Good.
What are your, predictions about France for the World Cup?
Yeah, I'm French, but to be honest, I'm not following really closely the statistic and football, especially. Apparently.
But you have prediction markets, so like you could potentially use those markets to look for predictions, right?
I think it's a good use case. Yeah, prediction market.
Do you root a little bit for Portugal at this point?
No. I will. I mean, I'm never watching football, but I will root for France for sure.
Okay.
And the team is apparently the team is quite strong. So yeah, let's see what the French team will do. How about Argentina and Brazil, guys?
Okay, go ahead, Jean. I mean, I have a lot of mixed feelings with Argentina, honestly. I will be proven wrong by the internet, but go ahead, Jean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on Argentina. Like, it's almost the same team as the last World Cup, and they play a lot together, so they're super good. Like France, Spain, they all have good players, but I don't know if there's like a better team. And Brazil, I'm not following much. I know that there's drama with Neymar, so I wouldn't bet on Brazil. So, but.
Are you sure you are Brazilian? Because this is really weird. Some person born in Brazil and rooting for Argentina. I mean, this is very. I mean, this is a big crossover. I would say. You're the only one I know. Jean.
No, I know more people that made the switch, because I don't know. The Argentinians are especially crazy about football, and people root differently here. So yeah, it's very hard not to root for Argentina living in Argentina.
Well, since we had this is a bit off topic, but since last week, so we were recommending Brazilian movies. I mean, I guess half an hour was movies recommendation. You know what I watched? I mean, last few days I watched on Netflix just to start feeling, the World Cup, vibes. There is a show. It's 5 episodes. It's about the road of Brazil to win the World Cup of 1970. The team where you had like Pelé and Gerson and Rivellino and Tostao. This was one of the most important teams in the history of football, basically. And not just the football part, but this is also in a context. In 1970, apparently there was a military government in Brazil, and the military government, they would want, who was the president back then, Jean, in Brazil? I don't know, but there was a dictator. And then they wanted, Pelé to say something in support of the dictatorship, as happened in Argentina in the 1978. Using football for political reasons. I promise you guys that never the Kleros DAO will use football for political reasons in any way. So our football activities are completely disconnected of our governance system. Yeah, just let me be clear on that.
Only for marketing.
Okay. Only for marketing. I mean, that's what the government wanted to do. With the team, market. The new Brazil, basically. But I mean, let's not go into that rabbit hole. Let's go with Alex. Sorry about this bit of detour, but Alex, please, go ahead. Tell us a bit about Foresight and the movie experiment.
Yes. So the idea is to say a couple of words today, basically because we got the results. So that's an important point. And next week we'll be able to do a more deeper focus, basically on Foresight. So Foresight and the movie experiment. What is it first? Just to remind a bit everybody. So it's this experiment that we launched like 2 months ago now. That was retweeted by Vitalik because he find it quite interesting. That is leveraging prediction market in order to do distilled human judgment. What is distilled human judgment? It's an idea basically that was theorized by Vitalik in his blog article. It's the idea of scaling the human judgment. So basically, you let prediction market and maybe AI agent. In this case, it was mostly human that trade, but it could have been AI, and we are doing a lot of things with AI. I mean, Alesia mentioned our research. I think it's definitely a topic that we have a strong focus now. And basically, you let them predict some specific outcome, and you only analyze a small subset of it. And thanks to the prediction market, basically, you are pricing all the outcomes at a way cheaper price because you're only checking a subset of it. So what does it mean in practice? To start, we got this experiment where Clément, basically, our CTO, was going to basically watch some movie. So there were some specific grading that it provided thanks to a critiquer first. So it's historical taste.
What is critiquer? Because not everyone, my aunt Rosita, she doesn't know what critiquer is. So
that's a good point. This. It's basically it's a website where you can have your own basically critics of movie. Let's say you really like Ciudad dos Deus, for instance. That is a very good Brazilian movie. You can put a very good...
We discussed that last week at length, so let's not go into that rabbit hole either. It's one of my favorite movies in history. Like one of my top 5 favorite movies.
Yeah, it's a very good one. You can put basically a good grade, and it's a good way for yourself basically to keep track of what are the movie you like, and also for other people like to look at what are your tastes. So basically, Clément did this with some movies that he remembered in the past. And then there was 16 new movies that were picked on Twitter. And basically, the idea was to say, if Clément watched this one, what will be the grading he will put? And the experiment went. During FCC, we gave some trading credits. So yes, the FCC participants were able to trade those markets. As you can see in the picture here shown by Jean, there were a lot of activities. So we saw some people that tried to manipulate the market. For instance, we saw some people that were trying to pump the grade of Barbie in order to have Clément look at Barbie. but because I mean, for sure,
That's
he
hilarious.
was not going to like it. But we can also see that it was arbitrage. That's also the good thing. You can see the Barbie price went down after. So yeah, basically at the end we got the final results. Clément watched 4 movies, and here they are showing at the screen the final results. So the results are quite positive. Why? Because basically the results beat 2 different things. First, the results built ChatGPT. So we did some testing. It's the ChatGPT you can see at the very right part, the ChatGPT no memory. So it's like if I open a session like this and I put the grades from Clément and I try ask ChatGPT to predict, he will give us this. And this is not as accurate as the prediction market. So prediction market is like better than ChatGPT for this. And then it also beats the own basically AI of this website that I explained, Critical, basically. So that's another success in terms of this platform. Then what we can also see that the prediction market lose against Clément own ChatGPT. So it means like the ChatGPT of Clément that knows Clément very well because he was talking with him like a lot for thousands of conversations. So I think it's also giving us some insights about AI and basically that AI that have a lot of context are really, really accurate instead of like AI without any context. So it's really promising results. It's not perfect. There is still some difference between basically the final grades and the grades predicted by the market because there was some bias, and we have seen this basically. One of the bias was the fact that the movie Clément put in Critical were only movies he remembered, and usually you remember good movies like Ciudad de Deus. You remember the plot, everything you remember, so you will put it, but a random bad movie you will forget it and you will not put any grades. So because of this there was this bias. So yeah, that was not picked at scale by the traders, even if one good point is like the only movie that Clément chose to watch from the sample, basically it was Demolition Man, and it was basically pretty close. So the prediction market was pretty close to the ranking of Clément. So that's a bit the analysis of the results. And now basically there is going to have a second session basically. So you can go on the interface, you can claim your basically tokens. If you predict accurately, you get profits, and that you can reuse for the second session. On the second session, basically, it will be the same experiment. The only difference is the movies were picked this time by Clément. So it's also a way to avoid this bias. So that's a short basically summary of what went well, basically, and what happened with this experiment. There is a blog post that is now live. You can have a read at it. Yes, next week we should be able to do a deeper dive on this topic. Yeah.
I can share my experience.
Share the screen. Share the screen, and go ahead, Jean, and then share, because I just live TV put up a little slide now, so I can explain a bit. But you go ahead, Jean. I will tell a bit about this.
Yes. Now. So well, from my experience, I think the one thing that maybe led me to like diverge a little bit on the results is that usually expected the rankings of like medium, not great movies to be around 50, and Clément rated them around 30, and I think then I should have looked at the previous ratings, and that I think will compensate to a lot of things. Now that this point that there were not as much bad movies or like less than good movies on the first rating. Maybe that interfered with it. But yeah, I'm ready for the next one. And one of the things we are discussing internally is to show the profit and loss. I think I had a little bit of profit on my trades, but this time I will try to use AI too, not only try to imagine. And I recommend everyone to do a little mix of different techniques and see what performs better. And just another thing to mention is that, of course, these are only experiments. That's not the idea is not to create like a better movie algorithm, but maybe another example that makes it make more sense is the deep funding experiment that actually was wrapping up, I think, early this week or last week. And it's a way of evaluating the impact of repositories of Ethereum. And there are like hundreds of repositories and their dependencies. So the combination of each item, it's like, I don't know, thousands of combinations. So instead of having like a human evaluating all of that, you have, I think, maybe 50 or 30 human jurors evaluating what they can, basically, and all the others are evaluated by anyone from the community, also using prediction markets and AI tools to kind of extrapolate what they think that the human jurors will do. And I think in the coming days or weeks, we'll have the results of that, right, Alex? I don't know if you are following that too.
Yeah, definitely. And Clément will be able to also share a bit more. He's working like very closely with the Ethereum Foundation on this, with Devanche. He will also be at Manifest conference. So yeah, definitely you will have some news about this partnership with the Ethereum Foundation. Yeah.
I can tell a bit also like why this is important for Kleros. And I mean, I have been following prediction markets for a long time, like 10 years. And even before Augur, you know, like this is an article that you can see on screen. I wrote, published, I think that last week or 2 weeks ago, I think, at the Walter's Kluwer arbitration blog, which is one of the most important blogs in the world of law and arbitration in particular. And well, arbitration now has a big problem, which is that they tend to have too long proceedings, like and very expensive, proceedings to resolve cases. I mean, going to arbitration costs itself millions of dollars sometimes, so it kind of only makes sense for a very high value disputes. And also, one of the frustrations that exist in the world of arbitration communities is that arbitration was born, I mean, the origins are from antiquity. I mean, Greek had it, Middle Ages, but the modern practice of arbitration was from the 1950s. And the idea was to, now in a context of growing importance of multinationals and international trade, international investment, obviously disputes will go to where economic activity is, and then we would need some way to resolve that. And the idea of arbitration was to provide a flexible way to resolve these disputes where experts could participate and where you would not have to go through all of the bureaucratic procedures of a legal, national court trial. And then what happened, so basically the idea was that people could choose whatever method they wanted for resolving their dispute. And then after the decision was made, after the award was made, this could be enforced in all of the countries of the New York Convention Treaty, which was done in 1958. That's how it started. But then what happened is that it started to become more and more bureaucratic, and arbitration proceedings started to look more and more like traditional trials, slow, expensive, and this is what I mean here when I say the arbitration efficiency crisis. It was created to be something very flexible and very fast and efficient. It became something very of the contrary. So over time, we started having like a number of new proposals in order to try to make these processes more, efficient. Some of them come from changing the procedural rules for making them more flexible, faster, and all that. And what is happening now is that there is one big trend in the legal world that is called I call it at least the predictive turn. Instead of going to trial, what if you use like some AI, some algorithm to predict what will the trial, what will the result be? And then, if you can predict the result, do you actually need to go to trial or not? Maybe you don't need to go to trial. You can save all of the money, the lawyers and all that. So, but what we have learned, and we discussed this before, is that when you use some AI to predict something, you can end up in a situation where that AI is biased in some situation, in some way, or to some party. So if you are in that situation, then you really cannot trust, an AI to do the prediction, because if the AI is predicting, is biased in its predictions, then you cannot really trust it to solve the cases. And this is why you can have like multiple AIs to solve the cases, right? So this is what we are like doing at Kleros with the work we do, like using AIs as jurors in a panel. But what if you use like a prediction market where AIs trade, and then they try to predict what is going to be the decision of the panel without actually calling the panel? And so you can, let's say you have 100 cases, you put it in a prediction market, and then those predictions, they will tell you, okay, 90% party A will win, 10% party B. If the prediction market says that it's very likely one party to win, maybe you don't need to go to like a trial. Maybe you can just settle, assuming that those will be the odds of each party winning. So if both parties trust the procedure of the prediction market, then you can like save a lot of money. And you will only have like maybe like a quality control, and you just take out of 100 like predictions, you take 5 cases and you actually do the trial to see what is going to be the result. So this is kind of a quality control, because otherwise, if you don't do the quality control, you would end up in a situation where it's just people, kind of trying to gamble on who is going to be the winner, but without any anchor to the real world. So this situation where you have this trial as quality control, these cases, when you put them to actual decision, then if you are trading on the market, what you need to think is, what would like a tribunal decide, right? So because that is going to be what you're going to incentive. So this is something that we could potentially use at Kleros. So what we're trying to do is try to build these hybrid systems involving AI, involving, of course, Kleros with the jurors, and then prediction markets for some particular type of cases, probably lower value, but we will see exactly which, can be like a tool in the toolkit of dispute resolution. So this is, I think Vitalik calls it the still human judgment, but it's coming. Maybe I'm a bit of an older guy. It's kind of like a quality control kind of procedure, in my opinion. But the names change, and I don't know. But this is kind of this is like a Six Sigma, like a kind of a Japanese manufacturing, kind of methodologies. So it's fine. It's now let's call it the still human judgment. All good. So this is kind of what we are researching, and this is what also I try to convey, because when I proposed this article, nobody had any idea. Some people knew prediction markets in this, the legal industry, but because of sports and the politics, some of them actually know them because of the dramas of like, oh, this guy, he made the missile launch a few days before, but was expected just because he had a bet. I think that there is also a lot of things not great about prediction markets, in the sense that they can produce not great behavior in societies if they're not implemented in the right way. But people also before prediction markets also use inside information to trade on stocks that they knew would pump or not based on the news that would be, released. So it's kind of a different thing, but of a practice that people still, already were doing. So yeah, just this long explanation just to mention. If prediction markets are well structured with the proper controls and with the proper use cases, I think that they can be like a super important tool for lots of use cases. And I think I'm happy that we're trying to put this discussion in the world of law, and nobody had discussed this in law. I think, to my knowledge, there was one experiment where they did. It wasn't a prediction market, but it was kind of a prediction type of tool to predict Supreme Court decisions. I don't remember the name. I put it in the article. I don't remember now, but yeah. So, this is part of a predictive turn happening in general in the legal industry. So, yeah, just for people to have like a context about where all of this thing with the movies is going and why we are interested in this. Movies is just like one specific particular way to show how this works. But the long-term thing is try to use this type of mechanisms for the future, for predicting decisions and helping with that. So this is a bit of a context. Okay, what a long rant. Do you have anything else for today, Jean?
Well, we have we sent the newsletter this week. So if you check if you received it on spam or not, probably you received it properly. So we sent the latest information, and we also have like a proposal in the Kleros DAO about having more say in what the Kleros cooperative chooses to do. So yeah,
I didn't have any time to see that. I saw it only, but I will try to add something. If you're waiting for what I think, I will try to write something today if I can. Yeah, I've been so busy this week. Yeah.
You don't need to do it. You can just trust the future key markets. Don't worry.
Right, the future key markets, maybe they know more than me, of course.
I'm kidding. It's recommend everyone to check it out. It's important. And I think these are the main things. Well, the juror rewards were sent this morning by Marino. So we have around, I think, 12 or 16%, I don't remember exactly, 16% APY rewards for jurors. So if you have PNK, don't forget to stake. Check if you haven't been unstaked too. It's important to secure the courts. There's a little bit of a difference between Gnosis and Ethereum, so you can check in the interface which one you prefer. The cases that we are receiving the most cases in the curation court on Gnosis chain. So if you want to get cases, that's the recommended one. And that's it for me.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you very much for coming. Next week, I'm not going to be here because I'm on the road trip in the UK and all of the road show. Jean is going to be here. Maybe we can have Fortunato explain a bit of what's going on in the world of agentic curation and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, we have a couple of updates about that. But we teased some weeks ago, but the JB Fortunato are working on this. So yeah, it will be great to have him.
Thank you, guys. See you, in my case, in 2 weeks. For Jean, next week, okay? Bye-bye. See you.
Bye, guys.
See you.